A young girl was kidnapped while home alone. Faced with a ruthless captor, she didn't immediately resist. Instead, she gently caressed his cheek and intentionally used seductive words to soothe him, aiming to make him lower his guard. To her surprise, the tactic worked. The kidnapper loosened the ropes binding her hands and even thoughtfully brought her food. However, this was all part of Annie's clever strategy. She touched his face to memorize his features, and the alluring words were meant to gain his trust. Sure enough, under her sweet talk, she finally earned an opportunity to use the restroom alone. But the kidnapper was no fool. To prevent any unusual activity, he insisted on standing nearby, refusing to leave. Annie pleaded desperately, claiming his presence would affect her. Surprisingly, the kidnapper actually left. Hearing the door close, Annie quickly removed her blindfold and locked the bathroom door. Yet she soon discovered there was no escape route from the bathroom. Instantly overcome by despair, she gazed at her disheveled reflection in the mirror and silently vowed to escape, no matter what. She began feeling around the bathroom, deliberately leaving fingerprints to provide clues for the police later. As Annie remained inside, the kidnapper grew impatient. Upon discovering she had locked the door, he flew into a rage, grabbing tools to force it open. When he returned, the door opened easily. He demanded to know what she had been doing and threatened her with a gun. Annie hastily explained she had simply been using the restroom and swiftly admitted her mistake. She then poured the kidnapper a glass of water. Only after he finished drinking did his emotions calm slightly. That night, as the kidnapper slept deeply, Annie quietly stood up, intending to secretly call the police. But her movements were noticed. This time he decided not to go easy on her and planned to eliminate her for good. Annie hurriedly explained she just wanted to call her father, her only family, to let him know she was safe, as he must be extremely worried after several days without her coming home. Unexpectedly, the kidnapper was moved by her words and spared her once more. This plea allowed Annie to narrowly escape this ordeal. Then, while he was distracted, she discreetly tossed her hair clip under the bed, trying to leave more clues for the police. However, just as she breathed a sigh of relief, bad news arrived. Since she had been missing for days, her grandmother had finally reported it to the police. Authorities had begun searching the city for traces of the kidnapper. He realized Annie had become a liability and decided to get rid of her permanently. To avoid detection, he immediately retied her hands tightly, planning to take her to a remote location and silence her for good. Despite Annie's desperate pleas, nothing worked. In the end, she was still thrown into the kidnapper's car.